What was the word for I, if we want to emphasize I?
Ben,
Ben. And the word for me?
beni,
Beni. And what was the word for you?
sen,
Sen. And the other you, so instead of saying, for example, you see, if I say I see you, what was this you that we use?
seni,
Seni. Good. And the word for we?
biz,
Biz. Bravo. And us?
bizi,
Busy. So I don't know if you thought about it, but the difference between ben and beni, sen, seni, is an ending. And that ending, of course, will be subject to vowel harmony, no?
yes,
So it's not always going to be an I necessarily that we add on to make this difference. What was the word for he, she, or it?
o,
O. To get him, her, or it, the it in the other position, I see it, I give it. What sound, what vowel do you think we will add on to O? If we add on I to ben and sen to get beni, seni, biz, busy, what sound do you think we would add on to O?
u,
Ooh, bravo. That's your vowel harmony. Well done. Ooh. But of course we know we can't add on a vowel to another vowel. We can't have two vowels together in Turkish. So we have a consonant popping up again to separate them. Now we already saw Y having that role in, for example, diet being diet, or for example, if we say I'm in the house, evdeyim, we had to separate that e of de and the I of im with a Y, evdeyim. So we can call this Y a buffer consonant. It's just popping up to separate the two vowel sounds. Now, Y is not the only consonant that's used for this in Turkish, and N is often used as well to do this, to separate two vowels that would otherwise end up together. So we have this O for he, she, or it. We're going to add an U to get him, her, or the other it. And separating them, we're going to have this buffer N. So how is that going to sound?
onu,
Oh no, perfect. So that's the word for him, for her, or it in that other position. And also that, actually, our translation between it and that is quite flexible between English and Turkish. What was to see? That's it.
how do you know?
Because I see the sound.
Gör,
Yeah.
görmek,
Görmek. Bravo. Görmek. How would you say, I want to see him tonight, this evening? I want to see him tonight. Or her.
onu, bu akşam, görmek istiyorum.
Very good. Now, this is a possible order. It's probably not the most natural order. Here you would be emphasizing tonight, as you've placed tonight right next to the verb. It's tonight that I want to see him. Otherwise, the natural position of that time expression is going to be at the beginning. Bu akşam onu görmek istiyorum. Does this mean that you're always emphasizing something in Turkish? Does it mean that we're emphasizing onu, him, her, it, or that even, in this sentence because it's next to the verb? As we mentioned, that in the standard order, in the natural order, we're not necessarily emphasizing anything. And this coincides or interacts with other roles in Turkish. As we saw, we don't need to use a word like onu if we know or if we referenced who we're talking about already. So by the mere fact that we're using it, it's already emphatic, which means it can take its natural position next to the verb without adding any extra emphasis. So the more you take it on yourself to analyze and dissect the Turkish you come across and the word order, the more it will begin to make sense. You will understand that there's a real practical logic behind it, and that's very interesting. Tell me again, what's the word for he or she or it? Or that, might also be that.
O,
Oh, good. So we saw that if we want to get the word for they, we just have to make o plural, as they is the plural of he, she, it. So what did we add to o to make it plural? What is our plural ending in Turkish?
lar,
Or two-way harmony.
ler,
Good. So which one would we add here with o? Lar or ler?
it's a O without a dot, so it's lar.
And again, we have this N popping up. Now, this N is not popping up to split up two vowels. I guess it's just helping it flow along here. So for the word for they, we have onlar.
Onlar.
Good. What was to wait?
Beklemek.
Beklemek. Good. How do you say they are waiting?
Bekliyorlar.
Bekliyorlar. Good. How would you say they are waiting for him or they are waiting for her?
Onu bekliyorlar.
Very good. Onu bekliyorlar. Good. Now, if you say the word for they, which was the word for they again?
Onlar.
Good. Now, if you say that, you already include the plural. So you don't have to repeat it with the verb. So, saying the word for they, emphasizing they're waiting, how might that be?
Onlar bekliyor.
Exactly. Well done. Onlar bekliyor. So you don't have to repeat the plural ending, but you could hear it repeated as well. Onlar bekliyorlar. So they're waiting for me without saying the word for they. They're waiting for me.
Beni bekliyorlar.
Good. Beni bekliyorlar. Good. But if you say they're waiting for me and you stress that they, then you don't need to repeat the plural. So how would that be with the emphasis? They're waiting for me.
Onlar beni bekliyor.
Onlar beni bekliyor. Very good. So if onlar is the word for they, how would you get the word for them? Look back to what we did to Ben, I, to get me. What did we add?
Eni.
An I or an E sound. And what did we add to O to get him or her?
U.
So it's four-way harmony, no?
Ah, okay, yeah.
To decide what vowel you will add, the first thing you want to do is narrow it down, no? So you end in an A here on lar, which tells you must choose from which group of vowels.
Without the dot.
Good, the dotless vowels. Brilliant. Which means your two choices are
U.
good or
Ö.
good. So u or ö, what will you add to onlar?
Ö.
Good, because the u is always pairing with o. O and u are pairing together. So we get onlar for them. So if you want to say I'm waiting for them, how would that be?
Onları bekliyorum.
Good. Onları bekliyorum. And what if you were to stress I?
Ben onları bekliyorum.
Good. Ben onları bekliyorum. How would you say they are waiting for them without using the word for they for now? Just they're waiting for them. One group is waiting for another group.
Onları bekliyorlar.
Good. Onları bekliyorlar. Good. Now, what if you were to use the word for they? They're waiting for them. What would change?
Onlar onları bekliyor.
Very good. So bekliyor ends up being the same as it is for he, she, or it, but it's never going to cause any confusion because, of course, you're only doing that because you already said onlar. Onlar onları bekliyor. Very good.